My name is Wes Waddell, and I have the honor and pleasure of serving as Associate Director for the Bushwick Book Club Seattle, a 501c3 nonprofit in its 15th year staging regular events of original music inspired by the written word. We were delighted when BEMA reached out about partnering for DogEar Festival and excited to accept the challenge of composing music inspired by the titles in the museum's Artists' Book Collection. Yeah, worth that. Thank you. You haven't heard anything yet. The typical Bushwick process involves drawing inspiration from a book's text, but given the extraordinary and unique works in this wonderful collection, tonight, the appearance and physical forms of the books may factor in as well. Thank you for coming on the journey with us. Here's how this works. 6 musicians have accepted the challenge of selecting one of these remarkable books, finding inspiration somewhere, love it, hate it, indifferent to it. It's always different when the author's in the room, but I don't think that's happening tonight. And again, normally, we read these, but some of these, they wouldn't let us. So the whole thing, we're a little out on a limb here, and we're as excited as we pretend you are. Finding inspiration somewhere, writing a brand new song, and sharing it with you all here tonight. That's what's going to happen, right? Read or experience a book, find inspiration, write a song, perform a song. Coming up, you'll hear performances from Kay Van Petten, Shelby Natasha, Amanda Winterhalter, Ather, and Alex Guy. And to get things started, me. Do I sound different in this mic? Okay, very good. All right, so I selected Los Angeles artist Sandow Burke's contemporary illustrations from A.A. Milne's Winnie the Pooh. The big map of the 100-acre wood, which is right here behind me, is also on prominent display up there on the second floor, framed against the wall there. Can you read any of that? Okay, great. Yeah, I could not stop looking at this. As a kid, I loved books with maps, and when I visited this exhibit, I just kind of lost myself in this. This is, again, Sandow Burke, it's a very Los Angeles-flavored rendering of the 100-acre wood. I love the murmurs of like, ooh, look at that happening there. Wait, is that yeah, it is. Yeah, Eeyore's gloomy place is the hospital. He went there. Amid the familiar references, you'll also see smaller signs, or you'll take my word that these smaller signs exist for things like Mexican food, donuts, liquor, smog check, checks cashed, rescue mission, and more. The grittiness, at first, to me, feels in direct conflict with the sweetness of Winnie the Pooh, but there's such a real affection for all of these places that, for me at least, it just kind of worked. People or animals, I suppose, don't have to live in idyllic settings to have stories to tell. And so I started thinking about how to lay a sort of fantasy quest map over a very specific part of the town I have lived in since 1998, Seattle, Washington. Here we go. Well, just a little bit over from the trees of Landover, our journey begins. Pointed south, pray for green light winds, keep the asphalt plains to starboard and the big box bluffs to port, and you'll be all right, at least for now. Sailing down the river Aurora, bound for the Georgetown Sea. Well, there is beauty and danger at every turn, and a safe return is not guaranteed. Through the taco truck alleys into Motel Valley, watch the lakes turn green. Mind the ridge to the west, soon the bridge can be seen. First the 200-acre woodland, and the animals 2 by 2. Don't you dare look back once you've come this far. Sailing down the river Aurora, we are bound for the Georgetown Sea. There is beauty and danger at every turn, and a safe return is not guaranteed. Oh, ruins aplenty, rapids to ride, islands of doubt and a troll to fight. Castles of concrete, fields of glass, off to the east, got works of gas. And then a little bit of winding, but you keep on grinding and it moves underground into Bertha's lair. Heaven help us now. Once you break out into the open and the mountain waves hello, let the current carry you home. Sailing down the river Aurora, we are bound for the Georgetown Sea. There is beauty and danger at every turn, and a safe return is not guaranteed. There is beauty and danger at every turn. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now for something completely different. Kay Van Petten is up next. Kay selected Common Rocks and Other Problems, Ellen Knudsen. Kay Van Petten is a musician, poet, and one of Bainbridge Island's own. After composing 2 full-length musicals before graduating high school in Illinois, they spent, right? Are these available?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, very good. All right.
There's a Mario musical out there with my name on it.
I have questions for later. Anyway, after that, they spent time as a musician in residence at a harbor bar in Chicago while living on a sailboat before relocating to the Pacific Northwest a decade ago with their band. Kay's most recent work combines their love for music and poetry into a cassette tape of ambient music and spoken poetry called For Someone, made in residence with Centrum in Port Townsend and released on Hello America stereo cassette. Kay Van Petten.
Wow, thank you. That really was my life story in there. Wow, I think thank you. It's so special to be here. I think we can take the reverb off the mic at least for a moment. Though it does sound beautiful and cavernous. I love BEMA so much. I've spent so many hours here, and I know I speak for everyone performing and everyone here when I say that the folks who work here are so wonderful. It's a small island, and it's absolutely magnificent that so many wonderful people are here and working together in the name of art, and that we get to have shows like this in this beautiful room. So thank you, Coram, and so many other amazing people here for making that happen. But when I walked into the Power of the Presses, the exhibit happening right now, has everyone seen it yet? Did we already ask it? Yeah, okay. Amazing. I mean, the color and everything is so vibrant, and there's so many messages everywhere. And I'm a writer before I'm a musician. I started writing from a really young age, so I came to this with a writer's mind for sure. And I was immediately drawn to, the room in the back with the books. I'm not sure what it's called. I know it has a good name. But I was so drawn to that and the beautiful books in the cases, and just couldn't stop scanning them. I'm sure if you're in this room, you probably feel the same. And when my eyes stopped on Common Rocks and Other Problems, which is the book I'll be kind of talking about and singing about today, I was floored by... I'm a queer, non-binary Gemini middle child from the Midwest, so I exist in a lot of in-betweens, like really between worlds in so many different ways. And this artist's book specifically is talking about two worlds, the natural world and the human world. And it has this index at the very beginning of it where on the first page it says all these common problems of humanity, and on the next page it says common problems in nature, so natural disasters and such. And then it connects them and weaves them throughout the book, and we'll take little pieces of poetry or words and pair them with like the texture of magma or all these amazing different textures and bring them together. So I knew I wanted to write about this one right away, and I wanted the song to have that like resistance in it and to feel like it was in two different worlds. So I'm kind of writing this song. You'll hear it's in an open tuning. If you play the guitar, you know an open tuning means that when I strum, it kind of already has the chord. Can you hear that? Yeah, so it's already got this like moody kind of natural disaster like resistance in it, and I'll be playing it in two different keys. You'll hear the shift in it. So I was writing into that and the lyrics as well about those two different worlds and how I relate a lot to the natural world and the natural disasters happening around this, and specifically in love and in relationships. So I pulled it to make it even more personal. So here we go. Let's listen.
Gamble past the probability, sleepy ache, no fight ends the possibility of you and I.
Thank you.
Kay Van Patten. Up next is Shelby Natasha. Shelby picked My Darling, My Reason, Jeffrey Morin, 2006. Shelby Natasha is a Chinese-American producer and songwriter who gathers inspiration from her cultural roots, mixing Chinese folk music with modern lo-fi production. Fun fact, Shelby drove up from a gig in Oregon last night to be part of this show for us. Right? That is commitment. Shelby Natasha.
Hello. If you haven't seen this instrument before, this is called a guzheng. It's like a Chinese harp. They've been around for 2,000 years. Not this specific one. I was really inspired by the thought of writing home while away. The book is a bunch of letters from a soldier during World War II writing home to his lover. And I've never been in war, but I have loved. So this is my song. Lately some questions are chasing my sleep away. I try to recall who I was before the war came, and I don't know what I don't know till I learn. Somewhere across the ocean, there's a version of us where I got to stay. I'm walking you home on a Sunday. You're making me laugh in your driveway. Somewhere across the ocean, there's a version of us where I got to stay. I'm walking you home on a Sunday. You're making me laugh in your driveway. I write it all down and pretend that you're close to me. I superimpose you in all of my memories, and I don't know what I don't know till I learn. Somewhere across the ocean, there's a version of us where I got to stay. I'm walking you home on a Sunday. You're making me laugh in your driveway. Somewhere across the ocean, I always know just what to say. There's no sweater when our hair starts thinning. Thank you very much.
Shelby Natasha. Fun fact number 2 about Shelby. Shelby's mom's here tonight, too. Yeah. All right, coming up now is Amanda Winterhalter with a song inspired by Tammy Wofsy's Game Theory, a Guide. Amanda Winterhalter fronts a Gothic Americana band that weaves together threads of 1960s girl group AM pop, gritty indie Americana, and blues-tinged Southern rock. Yeah. Glide magazine calls her latest release, What's This Death, a courageous work of the aching soul that is equally stunning and thought-provoking. Yeah. Y'all are easy to impress with just reading the copy here. Like I'm not complaining, but this is great. I should have gathered more quotes about everybody and then gotten them all more woos. In any case, Amanda Winterhalter.
Thank you. Forgive me as I just get set up here. I loved coming to see the exhibit a few weeks ago. We did a little field trip, a group of us from this group performing tonight. And we knew about some of the art books that would be part of the exhibit beforehand, but I wanted to wait until we came and experienced it to decide what inspired me the most. And I kind of thought I was going to be just really sparked by the Pooh book and the Pooh map. But what really stood out to me was Tammy Wofsy's book, and if you haven't been up there and seen it, it's in the room with the glass cases, and it spans around like a whole shelf, so you can look on both sides of the glass outside the room and then go around inside the room. And I took a ton of pictures of it, and I think there's something that reaches out to me always when it's that mix of nostalgia and sort of the current experience. And what comes through the art and the concept of game theory is the violence and activism inherent in our social world, our economic world, and our labor world. And something I wanted to do was I want to play a quick game with you. Let's do one round of paper, rock, scissors. So get ready. You got to get ready for your throw. Okay, I'm going to count. So we're going to go on 3 is when we're going to throw. 1, 2, 3, throw. Hold up your. Oh man, so many people did scissors. A lot of paper. I don't see that many rocks. I see a few rocks back there. All right. Is that nostalgic for you? Yeah, man. How many car rides, road trips, nights with the power out, sleepovers with friends? How much time have you killed doing that? We're testing out a different setup with the guitar than we did at sound check, so I want to make sure we're all good. Great. So my song is inspired by, Kay mentioned, I think it was Kay that mentioned sort of this feeling of resistance. And I've been trying to think about how do I resist in how I'm experiencing the world right now. And so that's kind of what was also tumbling around and what came through the pages of game theory for me. So the song's called The Throw. My fist is a rock rolling uphill. Huddle up with me buddies and we're making a plan. Many rocks make an avalanche. Flying up in reply to your yell. I hope this email finds you well. Get in position, put your hand on your hand. Get in position, put your hand on your hand. She's tearing a page from the playbook. It's the heaviest one, it's a wise one. Covers every move you never thought of. Always two hands ahead. We can see you talking, but you're muted. Gotta get the right throw. Can we make it on top? We won't know until we rock, paper, scissors. Gotta get the right throw. Can we make it on top? We won't know until we rock, paper, scissors. He is thrusting his shears with the points out. Tried to cut us in half, but they're too blunt. Cross his fingers and tie him up. Like he ducks in a row, we got a hard stop. Gotta get the right throw. Can we make it on top? We won't know until we rock, paper, scissors. Gotta get the right throw. Can we make it on top? We won't know until we rock, paper, scissors. Get in position. Put your hand on your hand. Pressure test defenses. Put your hand on your hands. Gotta get the right throw. Can we make it on top? We won't know until we rock, paper, scissors. Gotta get the right throw. Can we make it on top? We won't know until we rock, paper, scissors. Gotta get the right throw. Can we make it on top? We won't know until we rock, paper, scissors. Get in position, put your hand on your hand. Get in position, put your hand on my hand. Thank you so much.
Amanda Winterhalter. Yeah, I was in the back of the room for our room-wide throw, and that was a lot of scissors. That was you weren't missing anything from the sponge. So as As I mentioned in my intro, Bushwick Book Club Seattle, we're in our 15th main stage season of original music inspired by books. We do a show a month in Seattle. Those shows are usually about 10 different people who've all read the same book and have delivered something in response to it. This year, our season is all banned books. Felt like a choice to make. We have 3 more, including next Saturday, original music inspired by Luis Alberto Urrea's The Devil's Highway. Then May 10th will be Stamped, Racism, Anti-Racism in You. And then we will close our season in June. Kay Van Petten will be on that bill of a double bill of original music inspired by gender, queer, and sex is a funny word. So those are some things we do. We partner with lots of different organizations. We were just up in Bellingham a few weeks ago for their Whatcom Reads culminating event at the Mount Baker Theater. We had the author in the room. That's always really fun. We're very happy to know about you, and we're very happy to have you know about us. And let's bring up our next musician. This is Ather. Yes. Ather is an audiovisual artist making music to empower marginalized people. They recently released 3 new tracks from a 4-part album titled The Butterfly Effect. Here to perform something inspired by Suka Osawa's Gone Fishin', which was like my second choice, by the way, is Ather.
Thank you, Wes. That was a lovely introduction. How are you guys doing today? Yeah, pretty good. It's a nice little audience. I had the fight of my life with the ferry. That was fun. I didn't know they get full. I thought they stay open. They don't. Okay. But I'm excited to be here with you guys, and I really loved this book. It was very beautifully illustrated. It was really simple, just about a girl who kind of escapes her work life, and she goes on this beautiful walk, and she's seeing fishes and stores, and there's all these very bright, saturated colors, and it just reminded me of like being present in the real world and all of the beauty and wonder that's out there. And I think sometimes we get fixated in our phones and the news feed, and this is happening, that's happening. We're so disconnected from the now and all the wonderful things around us. So I wrote this song inspired by that feeling. Bright blue colors, oh how they blossom. Feelings flower, flower, they feel so awesome. The world is open, bright like an oyster. Spring and the summer flicker like wickers. Feelings flower, flower, smell like fresh, ripe roses. Fresh, ripe roses. Life is but summer and autumn, a blossom, blossom. Winter is colors, cool, wet, and awesome, awesome. Feelings flower like sweet kisses. Spring and the summer, they are but wishes, wishes. Life just gets sweeter with each passing season. Soft, gentle hands wrap and find joy in reason. Listen to the silence of the daylight, of the daylight, of the daylight. Life comes in whispers, secrets, bright stage lights. Days, precious moments, they shine like a diamond in the ocean. Diamonds in the ocean. a diamond in the ocean. Listen to the silence of the daylight, of the daylight, 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 of the daylight, daylight, daylight. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed that.
Arthur. Arthur, I didn't mention this when we were messaging back and forth and you were having your ferry adventure, but one of the reasons they might have been running behind, and I know locals will be shocked to hear that it was running behind on a Friday, was that the boat that a number of us were on earlier just stopped out in the middle of the water and did that thing, and we all went, oh, you know, are we doing the ashes scattering thing? Is this more serious? Nope, pot of orcas. It's the kind of thing like when people visit the area, Puget Sound area, and you take them on the ferry boat ride, and they're like, what are you complaining about? Like, there's orcas and this enormous mountain, and it's sunny, and like, yeah, you have it made. It's like, yeah, we have it made in April. It's fantastic. We have one more song for you, but before that, I want to say some thank yous. This has been a really wonderful experience partnering with Bima. This is such a treasure, and I hope you all make use of it, because places like this are really special. Every single person who had a name tag on today fell over themselves to make us feel comfortable, and dropped what they were doing sometimes to get things like a light for the music stand, or hopefully they weren't like attending to one of your needs when they dropped it and wanted to help us out. But every step of the way, this has been great. When we came out a few weeks ago, as Amanda mentioned, some of us had a little field trip. We got our permission slips in, and then we were able to look at the books. And Christy, who's in the room, was our docent, and took us around, gave us a private tour of the collection, which was wonderful, and helped with inspiration a whole lot. Coram, I know that this you had a big part in this happening as well, and we appreciate your advocacy and for that happening. And I have to ask, did you book me to play Pegasus Coffee House in like 2003?
No, it was probably like 1997.
Okay, all right. I know I played Pegasus once, and this like 17-year-old kid and his dad opened for me, and that was Ranger Shaka, who's now playing all over the place all the time. That was his first gig, was opening for me at Pegasus. Cole has been running sound all night. I had to ask myself the question this week, because the emails were just so easy and accommodating. I was like, are they just that chill, or is this incompetence? Because you have to be guarded. And we have a car full of gear out there because for contingencies, but no, there's just that chill. Has been incredibly capable, really has run a wonderful sound, everything we asked for and more. Thank you so much. It's such a treat to work with that. It's not easy to deal with all of these different instruments and egos as they cycle through here. And running sound is like being a referee and umpire. The best job you can do is one that people don't really notice, and it's been a treat. So thank you so much. And Sadie has been our main point of contact through this as well. So Sadie, thank you. Just, again, so easy. Not a lot in this world right now is easy. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Bima, for being the thing that you are and for letting us be part of it for one night. What a great festival, what a great institution. And there's so many other people whose names I didn't mention who were part of this and also did things like made pizza show up upstairs or let you know that we have free buttons. There are all sorts of things. By the way, we have that, and we have an email list you can sign up on too. And some people have merch you can buy. But anyway, can we just get one rousing round of applause for the whole thing that is the Bainbridge Island Museum of Art. And now we have Alex Guy. who said, I'm needy. I need more time before.
Wes, can you just talk about some stuff while I try to deal with it? Anyway.
How convenient, because I want to spend a lot of time thanking Bima, and this all worked out exactly the way I wanted. And this is Alex Guy, violinist, violist, singer, and composer. Alex Guy is the leader and principal songwriter of Led to See, a magnetic trio that fuses classical, pop, and experimental music. Alex has also composed extensively for dance, film, and theater, and has performed and collaborated with many notable band leaders, composers, improvisers, and musicians in the Pacific Northwest and well beyond, including Coram Bischoff. I believe you all were in a band together in the 90s. So it's just 90s night here. Anyway, here with a song inspired by influx structure, a topography of ghosts, is Alex Guy.
Thank you. Wes, you're so good at killing time. That was really smooth. I shouldn't have even pointed it out. Thank you for having me, and I'm so happy to be back here. And I think the last time I played here was with Coram's brother, Jarek Bischoff, and a string quartet that he composed. But I love Bima. It's just a wonderful institution. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the book and the inspiration for my piece. And as Wes mentioned, it's called Influx Structure, a Topography of Ghosts, by Carrie Mikilani Schroeder. And the book, I actually wasn't able to come to the museum before, so I picked the book by the title. And I love ghosts, and I love maps, and I was like, this seems great. And I love words that I don't know what they are. I was like, influx structure. Okay, I'm like, this is my book. And I started to delve into it, and it is, and then I've gotten a chance to see it today, and it's an incredibly beautiful book. And the structure is that, has anybody seen it? Did you get to see it up there? So I wish we could touch it. And I'm glad Amanda was standing next to me because I wanted to touch it. But because she was there, I was like, I'm not allowed to touch it, so I didn't. But the book, as you open it, it opens kind of in layers. The pages open out, and you kind of peel them away to see the next layer. And there's also kind of a window into the layers beneath. And the way that the artist describes her book as is exploring both macro and micro human systems that are both organic and artificial. So like our veins and nervous system and circulatory system all the way to like a highway system. So kind of like zooming out, zooming in, both with things that are sort of fundamental to our bodies and also things that humans have created. And so I decided to write a piece trying to kind of mirror a little bit like how her book looks at a different system and then sort of opens up into another system and another. So I've written a couple of like things inspired by her systems. And I just wanted to read a little bit of the text in her book. The book is visually so beautiful, but I really liked the text as well, which I explored a little bit online, like getting to zoom in on some of the pages. One section says, "Too close to see clearly, out of focus, out of control. Too far away to see clearly, surrounded by remnants of symbols we cannot interpret from long forgotten topographies." Another section says, "I awake, often not knowing where I am, filled with an overwhelming need to feel something alive." And a final section, "But with all the grooves carved into the earth, there are no paths to follow, only roads to move farther away from each other."
Alex Guy. Thank you so much for letting us come out, share some music with you inspired by a thing that lives here, the Artist Book Collection. And once again, for Bima, all that is Cole running sound, Sadie running point, Coram the idea man, Christy with the guided tour. Again, you heard original music tonight inspired by the Artist Book Collection from me, Kay Van Petten, Shelby Natasha, Amanda Winterhalter, Ather, Alex Guy. Enjoy the rest of DogEar. Come say hi out at the table. I'm Wes Whittle. Take care. Be kind. Thank you.